Hey guys, I am really excited. We're making a couple of changes to the Spilling the Beans podcast. And so Spilling the Beans started because we were just looking for a name for a podcast, and we were just hanging out. I was sitting down, grabbing coffee with local entrepreneurs, talking about business, talking about life, and usually in a cafe, and again, just having a cup of coffee. And so we named it Spilling the Beans. But that doesn't really define who we are and what we stand for. And so it's been kind of weighing on me for the past several months, and I've been thinking about changing the name. And so we have essentially come up with a new name for the podcast, and that is the Legacy Podcast, right? Everything I do, everything I stand for is all about legacy, and not necessarily passing down treasure or money or estate or property to your legacy, but passing down insights, passing down intellect, passing down a frame of mind and a philosophy of building legacy. If you pass that down, future generations can build their own legacy of property and estate and treasure and all those other things. And so we're heavily focused on continuing to meet and sit down with local entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who come into Charleston who have really cool products. Heavy in the real estate side, just because I end up being a real estate guy, but I also have marketing businesses, I have a software business, and I hang out with a lot of entrepreneurs in the area. Some own food products, some own restaurants, and we're gonna be bringing all those different entrepreneurs of all the different walks of life and industry and product and widgets, whatever they're offering, services. You know, it doesn't matter what business you're in, what industry you're in, what product you're offering, what service you're offering, the fundamentals of business all stay the same. And that way you can take these ideas, these philosophies, these connections back into your business, right? See what somebody's doing maybe in a different industry, implement it in your industry or in your service or in your product in order to then elevate and grow and increase the efficiency and effectiveness of your own business. So nothing is changing from a standpoint of where do you find the podcast, where do you listen to the podcast. The only difference would be you search the Legacy Podcast as opposed to Spilling the Beans with Tim Bratz. So it'll be the Legacy Podcast with Tim Bratz, and that's really the only difference. So if you're already subscribed to the channel, if you're already subscribed to the podcast, you don't have to change anything, and it'll just change the logo and the colors and some of that stuff. So nothing that you have to do. And if you're sharing this podcast with other people, just let them know it's the Legacy Podcast with Tim Bratz. So we will see you on the next episode of the Legacy Podcast with Tim Bratz in the pursuit of legacy.